A memo that Steve Harvey wrote when he was previously working in Chicago has been leaked by a member of his staff.
My lawyer called me and said, hey man, we got a problem. You haven't paid taxes in 7 years. So he said, man, that's tax evasion. You can go to prison.
For 7 years?
For 7 years.
How much money did that?
I ended up owing 22 million.
Wow.
22 million with the penalties.
Although he spent most of his time on screen educating people about how to navigate the complexities of life, Steve Harvey seems to have gotten himself into an impossible situation with the law. I know what you're thinking. We've repeatedly seen this man on TV, and almost everything about his life is on the internet. But according to news rolling in, it seems Steve Harvey had a lot of blurry details about his life hidden. Besides the fact that he may have been caught up with the law, there are also reports that there might be trouble in the relationship coach's paradise. It's almost like things have just gone from bad to worse for Steve over the years. We've just been too focused on his success to actually see it. Well, those days seem to have met an abrupt end because what we're hearing of Steve now is beyond out of pocket. Stay tuned.
You're busy. I hear you, brother, okay? Having said that, that doesn't give you license to be such a to people you work with.
You could easily say Steve Harvey is one in a very short list of people that seem to have figured out the secret to the good life. I mean, common. All we see this guy do is give advice and go on vacations to the most exotic places. But it looks like all of that might have been a facade. Don't get me wrong, the man is indeed considered one of the most successful people in the world, as he has multiplied his net worth again and again over the years. However, it seems that when we weren't looking, Steve was busy getting his hands dirty. With today being the day of reckoning, he's finally getting exposed for the lie he's been living.
I just want to note that this kind of behavior is applauded in this industry.
It starts with the fact that Steve might have run a charity event to siphon the proceeds of the event into his already fat wallet. Seems a little unbelievable at first because this man is a multi-millionaire, but in truth, he wasn't born with that status, and it seems he had to make some under-the-table moves to get there. Per reports, a few years ago, Steve Harvey was sued by a former employee who claims the Family Feud host ripped him off in a bad deal, allegedly not paying him for millions of dollars he said he raised for Harvey's charity. Harvey's agent, Todd Frank, denies the allegations. It sounds fake, Frank told TMZ of the claims from ex-employee Vincent Dimmick, who sued for charity fraud, alleged that Harvey hired him back in April to help raise $20 million for the Steve and Marjorie Foundation as well as other ventures, according to TMZ. In return for his work, Dimmick said he was promised 12.5% of everything he brought in. In the suit, which was obtained by TMZ, Dimmick said that he held up his end of the bargain and delivered $1 million through his high-profile connections, but Harvey allegedly refused to pay the employee commission. Not only did the TV mogul allegedly refuse to pay him directly after completing the job, Dimmick said Harvey appeared to have no intentions of paying him at all. Also, while working with Harvey, Dimmick claims to have discovered how Harvey felt about some of his fellow entertainer pals in the industry. During an investor meeting with Harvey in May, the TV star allegedly blamed Ra W N Frey and film producer and actor Tyler Perry for giving him bad financial advice. He also allegedly blamed Barack Obama for Harvey's disastrous meeting with Donald Trump. In addition to the company's financial troubles, Dimmick said that Harvey believed bad PR moves were also to blame for the company's withering state.
If you were a nice guy, then people wouldn't send this out.
But while Dimmick may have his opinions of Harvey, Frank has a much different opinion of his longtime client. Steve is the most loyal guy in the world, Frank said. I've never been stiffed on a commission from Steve Harvey in 21 years. The accusations that came up about Steve seemingly being involved in the fraud case were shocking because over the years, the comedian had already been involved in a plethora of charity events. Right from the Steve and Marjorie Harvey Foundation, which had a mission to give back to impoverished areas and communities, all the way to the United Negro College Fund, which offers these students in the community an opportunity to receive quality education without debt. Considering how much money goes into maintaining and running these charity organizations, it's hard to see how Steve Harvey could have been part of plans to siphon money meant for his charity organization. However, it becomes much easier to see that possibility when you see the rap sheet of court cases the comedian has gotten caught up in over the years. It starts with a $60 million claim from his ex-wife that he was allegedly doing the unthinkable to her while they were together.
Steve Harvey's ex-wife put him on blast. Apparently, he was having an affair while they were married, and this is his ex-wife, Mary Harvey.
Mary Harvey sued the 65-year-old for conspiracy against rights, intentional infliction of emotional distress, and Sol M** order, among other things, according to E! News. At the time the suit was filed, Harvey's attorney, Brandon R. Williams, told Entertainment Tonight in a statement, "Mr. Harvey vehemently denies any allegations set forth in the lawsuit. The complaint is meritless, frivolous, and the allegations are completely false. We will vigorously defend counterclaim against the complaint." But, as people would later find out, that was just the first of many accusations he would face. About a month after the accusation from Steve's ex-wife came, another slightly different kind of case was dropped at Steve's doorstep. According to news outlets, a fitness model and single mother who appeared on the Steve Harvey Show in 2016 sued the host for SH. The woman, Dominique Collier, filed a lawsuit against Steve Harvey, alleging that he and his producers made her dress less conservatively than she wanted to and subjected her to offensive audience commentary during the taping of an episode of Harvey's talk show that aired in April 2016.
Who says that to a colleague, to someone you work with? Like the hubris of that, like I am important and you are nothing.
Collier also claimed her photos were altered to make her appear more provocative on the show, according to TMZ. Her complaint stated that while she showed up for taping in a pencil skirt and full coverage blouse, by the time cameras rolled, the show's producers had made her change into a form-fitting skirt and a halter top. Once again, this isn't particularly a good look for Steve, considering where we're coming from in this story. But to sum it all up, there is also the fact that people have been calling out his wife on social media for being in the picture because of Steve's money, and taking a look at her history, they may be onto something. See, before becoming Marjorie Harvey, the fashion designer was previously married not once, but twice. People get divorced all the time. That's not the moral of the story here. Here, it's more about the people she was married to.
Who the put Steve Harvey as the representative for all things black? Steve Harvey is on his third marriage.
Steve is Marjorie's third husband. Her first husband was Jim Townsend, a former drug kingpin investigated by different law authorities. The former couple tied the knot in the early 1990s, but parted ways less than 5 years after he was arrested. Police arrested Townsend after he tried to buy 40 kilos of cocaine, and a judge sentenced him to life behind bars. Townsend walked out of jail in January 2017 after President Barack Obama pardoned him. The FBI and DEA investigated not only Townsend, but also Marjorie, as they believed she was also involved in illegal activities. They even told Townsend they would arrest Marjorie if she didn't cooperate with them. Authorities never charged Marjorie with a crime. It was also reported that Marjorie and Townsend allegedly remained friends until she and Steve got married in June 2007. During his time in jail, Townsend wrote 2/3 of the memoir he released after walking out of jail. In it, he opened up about his illegal activities and relationship with Marjorie, including how she was supposedly involved in his crimes. Did I not mention that her second husband, too, was roped in by the authorities for drug-related crimes, too? Oops! 1 could be an accident, but 2, that seems more like a choice. If this woman was choosing alleged criminals as her life partners, it tells you 2 things about her. First, she would probably do anything to keep up her luxurious lifestyle, even if that meant being with a drug dealer. The second is that she's not one to shy away from drug-related crimes, so how much more white-collar crime like siphoning charity funds? Well, let's just say fans are starting to think Steve's life turning upside down is Marjorie's doing. One person who seemed to have a lot of facts on the case wrote, "Not TikTokers exposing Marjorie Harvey. She married a kingpin back in the day. He got caught and served time, and then she married another heroin kingpin, and get this, it was the cousin to her first husband. They both served time, and she went on to marry Steve." Looks like there might be a lot more to the Harvey family than we thought. That's it for this video. Goodbye.